Hello, everyone. If you're listening to me from the wasteland or from the best little town on the bottom of the deep blue sea, this is Fallout Rapture. Now, today, folks, I'm going to be discussing the rumor that was spreading around during and before E3 about 2K possibly releasing a new Bioshock game or a new Borderlands game. Unfortunately, that E3 has currently passed, and unfortunately, no new Bioshock or Borderlands game. Which um sucks. I haven't played Borderlands before, but I heard that a lot of people were anticipating it. But we did get a new NBA game, which is good. But I've never really been into the sports game type franchise, so it doesn't really affect me. But today I'm gonna go over what I actually hope for in this new Bioshock game when or if it ever comes out. Because last time I heard the 2K put it in charge of in the hands of 2K Marine, the same people who made Bioshock 2, which I don't get why Bioshock 2 is probably why Bioshock 2 is the most hated game. It was actually good on my part. I know I'm gonna get a lot of hate for that, but I'm just saying that's my opinion. Um, so let's begin. First off, what um, is the current fate of this new game? Unfortunately, last time when we heard 2K Marine have gone under some major um, cutbacks. As in, we don't even know if the studio is still operating or not. We're just trying to accept in blind faith that they hopefully are still running. Hopefully, might make this game. And as for the time, I think if I remember correctly from a YouTube video, I heard that I might see the next game in 2020 or somewhere really down the line, which sucks royally for me because I really love the series and I love playing it. Engaging story, beautiful atmosphere. What more could one hope for? I just don't want them, but at the same time, I get why it might take so long because we don't want this to be some F- random FPS shooter that is stuck together with gum and glue and tape. That is horrible and doesn't capture what makes Bioshock so great in the first place. So while I am really sort of disappointed that we're probably not going to see a new Bioshock for a while, I am holding out hope for it. Now, on to what I'm hoping for this game. Honestly, the rumors that have been going around recently are basically it's you're gonna be in space or underground. One moment, excuse me. Sorry, I got a bit of a stuffed up nose. And let's see. Personally, out of the two of them, I don't favor either because space, System Shock 2, wink wink, right there, not a rational studio. Okay, might as well give you a little background for those who have not heard of this game. Um, Irrational Studios, before they disbanded, before they even created the Bioshock series, had worked on a series called System Shock, which took place in space, which had an evil computer trying to kill you after you hacked into it, blah blah blah. I haven't played the game, so I'm probably not going to be able to give you a very detailed plot. But it was very scary from what I heard. Very scary, very suspenseful, and sort of gave some people say he sort of gave birth to that claustrophobic space you feel in Bioshock, which it's interesting. I might play one day. Actually, I've heard rumors that it might be remastered soon. Mm, Actually, I think I saw a release, but no official release date for maybe a remastered System Shock 2. Anyway, I'm getting off track. So for as for why I prefer the space setting for a new Bioshock game over the underground setting is because of the way the games are set up. I mean, think about it. Columbia, Rapture, er, are both contained, while Columbia being more isolated than contained at a certain point, but you can still see it. But here's the thing: in both Rapture and Columbia, you can see farther out into the distance that you know there's another world out there, that you can see past buildings and past things all the way into the distance. Underground, you would be in confined spaces, and if there were any windows, you'd probably be staring at rocks. Lots of rocks. Which would make it feel really more claustrophobic, which, if they want to go into a direction of having that, I don't think it really fits the games. Columbia and Rapture, while Columbia feeling more open, are still both isolated, but you can still have a feeling of this gigantic world and city still out if you look out a window. If you look out window underground, you're just gonna see rocks and nothing else. No other building on sides if it's a big cavern, but you still feel like you just feel contained underground, and that's why I don't want it. In space, if you look out a window, you can see this massive, massive world out there, which is what these. I think that's what they were going for in these games. You want a player to be in a tight space and feel like they're in a tight space, but at the same time know that there's a more out there. Here. Now, as for story and elements, um, personally, one of these things that I love about the series is the deep, deep story elements to it. Sort of like you got audio diaries, for example, showing light on Rapture's past, people's daily lives, that sort of thing, which I love. And I really hope they continue that in if we ever get this new game, because that is what one of the things I love about Bioshock, the story-rich element, that you're just thrown into this one place where you're told by this guy just to start shooting people in order to survive. No, they actually give you background information of a civil war, of two people, of Alice and Ryan's feud, of the sort of decline of Rapture, plasmids, all that stuff, which makes up a really interesting narrative. And I and hope that 2K doesn't try to throw out this half-baked shooter, which for the fans or for profits, I rather have them take a longer time to develop the idea and give story elements to it than to satisfy the fans and throw out a game as fast as they can. I feel like it reminds me of another game, which was Tom Clancy's The Division. I feel like that's sort of what happened there. After multiple delays and things like that, that they just threw out a game as fast as they could because they were afraid that if they didn't do something soon or something at all, that they were going to lose anybody's interest and that they were going to lose all this money. So they just threw that game out, and that's why I do not want for Bioshock. I want a good game. I want a good story. I want the atmosphere to it. I don't want some half-baked FPS shooter that does not live up to the expectations that we have seen for these games. And that's what I'm hoping for really in this new game. Oh, wait, one moment. I love this part. And bingo. This is why you do not mess with Elizabeth, folks. And also, as for story, there is possibility that we might. Well, this is very, very, very unlikely, but if worst comes to worst, 2K can always use Bioshock 2's ending I mean, we don't know what happened to Eleanor. What did she do after she escaped Rapture? But I think they're not going to touch that. I think they said it's up to interpretation. But I want to see a new city, a new setting, like that because Rapture has been used these countless times, and it just be a waste to constantly reuse it. And I'm sorry if my voice is a little loud. I've been trying to work out with this new microphone, so apologies. That's it. Now, as for time I wanted to get out, I don't think I can really choose that. But I will. But I'll tell you what. When the new Bioshock, if this new Bioshock game comes out, and if it does, as soon as it does, I'm picking up a copy. I don't care what I'm picking up a copy because I love the series that much, and I really want it to flourish. So, basically, I don't really have any preferences for art style or anything else besides that, or enemies. Well, actually, maybe enemies. I don't want them just to be a car. Um, no, actually, Splicer Cross. I actually want to see something like new mutations or something else that is directly correlated with the environment. Because Columbia, which had regular citizens you were fighting, Rapture has Splicers. I like actually to see what they actually do with new enemies here, but I just don't want them to make something ridiculous like, say, mole people. That would be awful, indeed, really. So, and as for the powers plasmids, that I actually do have one thing I hope they actually do. I want them to actually use what they do in Bioshock Infinite, which gives the plasmids intros. And that would be really amazing because I love that part. That part, you get to see these sort of accepting the powers and then see a little brief intro that is amazing. Other than that, I have any real preferences. I'll just have to wait and see. By the way, this video that we are watching currently, as I'm using for the background, is produced by Fluffy Ninja Llama. Um, and dude, if you're watching this, I'm putting it's on record, and I'm gonna put in the link description because I do not want to get copyrighted for using this guy's um, gameplay as this backdrop. So go subscribe and give it a like to this video, and that's all. So good night, ladies and gentlemen. This has been Fallout Rapture, bring you the news. Bye.